Jesus Christ. Uh, Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Is I Brandon Wynn back again with Critical Failure, joined by my friend.
Kreepz, aka Demetrius.
Yeah, and we're finally on the dragons list of Dungeons and Dragons. The monster manual. This has got a fuck ton of dragons that we're going to go through. This specific one is just one version of the Dragolich that we're going to be talking about. So note that you apply the other templates on top of that, but this is going to talk about that a little bit. So I'm going to go through lore, the stats, and all that type of jazz. And like I was telling him before the recording, he's going to kind of either wait till I finish the sentence or a paragraph, because he does not have a version of this and he's going to give feedback or something like that, since he does not physically have one of these and can't really show anything since he's using his phone to record. So yeah. But I'm going to get straight into the lore. Even as long lived as they are, all dragons must eventually die. This thought does not sit well with many dragons, some of which allow themselves to be transformed by necromantic energy and ancient rituals into powerful undead dragoliches. Only the most narcissistic dragons choose this path, knowing that, that by doing so, they'll sever all ties to their kin in the dragon gods, which goes pretty on par with dragons in general. Like the most narcissistic, most vain, doing this, deciding to do this to eternally live, getting a phylactery and all that shit. Beyond death, a dragolich retains its shape and size upon transforming. That's really bad. Transforming its skin and scales drawing tight to its bones or sloughing away to leave a skeletal form behind. Its eyes appear as glowing points of light floating in shadowy sockets, hinting at the malevolence of its undead mind. Though many dragons pursue vain goals of destruction and dominance, dragoliches are more nefarious than the most evil dragons. Driven to rule over all, a dragolich is a fiendishly intelligent tyrant that crafts complex webs of foul schemes, attracting servants motivated by greed and a lust for power. Acting from the shadows, actively plotting to keep his existence a secret, a dragolich is a cunning and challenging foe. Now, I'm not going to lie. I really like the idea of like the Dragolich slowly decays rather than just already having the like skin kind of removed, because I like the idea that its organics just dissolve, like just kind of melt away like a normal thing. So like you could see a Dragolich like right after it dies, like it respawns and everything. And it looks like a normal dragon other than battle wounds. And then as time progresses, it just decays and decays. So you'll see it like a couple months later, you know, it's lost a lot of shit and like disgusting.
Yeah, it would be like the natural progression of, you know, the human or organic matter decomposing. So yeah, it'd be pretty cool seeing the living image slowly fade, and you start to see, you know, all the bits and pieces kind of coming away to show that it is no longer among the living. It is a being all its own.
Yeah. It's a really cool idea to think about, because the picture has some of it like of the skin still attached, but honestly, that like personally how I'd run it, that'd probably be like a really powerful Dragolich, because it doesn't necessarily state that they can't grow more power. Just
Yeah.
Gonna get into the phylacteries now. Excuse me. Creating a Dragolich requires a cooperation of the dragon and a group of mages or cultists that can perform the proper ritual. During the ritual, the dragon consumes a toxic brew that slays it instantly. So it dies. Like it dies in the process, like all liches have to. The attendant spellcasters then ensnare its spirit and transfer it to a special gemstone that functions like a lich's phylactery. As a dragon's flesh rots away, the spirit inside the gem returns to animate the dragon's bones. Again, I think it'd be really cool just to have it like just rot normally. It's just flavor text, honestly. If a Dragolich's physical form is ever destroyed, its spirit returns to the gem as long as the two are on the same plane. If the gem comes into contact with another dragon's corpse, the Dragolich spirit can take the possession of that corpse to become a new Dragolich. The Dragolich's spirit gem is taken to another plane. The Dragolich's spirit has nowhere to go when its undead body is destroyed and simply passes into the afterlife. Honestly, I think a dragon spirit would be a pretty cool idea that keeps returning and returning and returning as like an evil enemy until the phylactery is eventually found and then destroyed. So that could be like some high level ass campaign where a dragon continuously harasses and destroys shit in the afterlife. So it probably would have like some sort of necrotic or cold damage, and then it's like when it dies, it just respawns, but after a while later. So I think that'd be a pretty cool like campaign driven thing.
Yeah, it'd be pretty interesting, seeing that kind of get introduced in a way where it does have that revenant effect where it can come back seemingly endlessly unless, otherwise destroyed. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Now, the template does state there are restrictions for Dragoliches. Only ancient or adult true dragons can be transformed into a Dragolich. Younger dragons that attempt to undergo the transformation die, as do other creatures that aren't true dragons but possess the dragon type, aka wyverns, pseudo dragons, dragon turtles, that type of stuff. A shadow dragon can't be transformed into a Dragolich, for it already has lost too much of its physical form. Shadow dragons are another level of fucking crazy. When a dragon becomes a Dragolich, it retains its stats, except described, which I'll go into. It assumes a living physiology. Oh, it loses any trait, such as amphibious, that assumes a living physiology. So it doesn't need to eat, sleep, drink, and stuff like that. It goes to undead. So like I said, no air, food, drink, or sleep. It's resistant to necrotic damage. It's immune to poison and retains all immunities it had prior to becoming a Dragolich. So if this was a red dragon, immunity to fire, cold dragon, obviously. Conditions: can't be charmed, frightened, paralyzed, or poisoned. It also does not suffer from exhaustion. And it has magic resistance, so it has advantage on spells and other magical effects, which are pretty cool. Sorry, like I've been like having pain in my abdomen here for like days, and I don't know what the fuck it is. I might actually have to go see a doctor about that shit.
Awesome.
It's really hurting. I'm not gonna lie.
In essence, it's kind of like Atrix, but like better.
Yeah, I had to like nerf you exponentially because you are statistically, at least just as a base character, more OP than everyone. Because you're undead, I just made you have to rest because it's like, hey, guess what? It's kind of fucked up that you don't have exhaustion. So it's kind of like a Warforged. Like they don't necessarily have to rest, but they suffer exhaustion, even though they're robots. You have to do it at least because it's like, hey, look, your tendons and shit can still wear off, so you're kind of doing it just so it's like, like you don't like if you tore an arm off, it's like it wouldn't hurt you or anything. It's just like inconvenient.
Definitely hinder you. Yeah, it would definitely inconvenience you.
Yeah, like if your arm broke right now and someone didn't use like inflict wounds to heal you, because again, like I had to find a way to heal you that wouldn't kill you. Like necrotic damage is supposed to be the only, or necrotic energy is the only thing that's supposed to heal you, but I can't bottle necrotic like shit. So it's like, okay, poison damage. And so like I was talking to Ed, more than likely if you're going to be fighting like something that's poisonous, you just would have no damage rather than being healed from it, because that's OP as shit to be fighting like a green dragon. It deals like 46 points of healing damage to you while everyone else is dying. But then again, it's like that was only specific to healing Atrix on the go, because like I said, I can't bottle necrotic energy, so that's like specific to like a D4 or whatever. And like I told him, it's there's going to be scalings like that of a like the normal healing potions, but probably cheaper, because I feel like for you, I guess I'm going to be honest, you can buy like say a basic rat poisoning for like 25 gold. Like even though you're probably going to get it easier than that, but it's like say 25 gold, you could make it for 15 or 12 or whatever. And it's just like, okay, 1d4 right there. And then you go to the 50 gold. That's where you hit the 2d4 plus 2, you know, and it scales from there. But you could yourself make it easier, since poisons inherently are easier. Now, if you decided to use it, DC 10, blah, 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 you know. But that's specific for Matrix. Excuse me. Now, the stats we're going to go into are the adult blue Dragolich. Again, it already gave the template, so you can change it out however you need. The adult blue Dragolich is a huge undead lawful evil, has an AC of 19 of natural armor. Again, you could probably put some armor on that bitch and make it even higher if you wanted to. Hit point average is 225, 18d12 plus 108. It has a ground movement speed of 40 feet, a burrow speed of 30 feet, and a flight speed of 80 feet. Now, the only part that really confuses me on this is that Dragoliches in like this, obviously it like kind of sloshes off all of the muscle, the sinew, and all that stuff. So like, how the fuck does it fly with its wings? I kind of think it's like a magical thing. It's just like it still innately has a flying ability because it's just like, hey,
I
it's Dungeons and
mean,
Dragons. Now, the way that
I
I would work
mean,
it is just like, hey, yeah, it can fly through like the muscles and wings still while it's slowly decomposing, and then it slowly incorporates a magical means of just basically casting fly on itself. Like unbeknownst, it's like it's just immune to it. So I was just like, yeah, I just naturally fly.
I would say, in that instance, it's like that would be like one of the last things I would think would, rot away, weirdly enough, as there's not really much to it. So it almost becomes just leather.
Yeah, but it just becomes skeleton at some point. Like there's nothing left, is what the eventual thing is. So even if it's just leather, you unless preserved properly, you would the skin would
At
fold
that
and
point, yeah.
eventually
At
dissolve.
that point of like decomposition where it's just all bones, that's all just magic at
Also,
that point.
yeah,
I
yeah,
I call like, yeah, that's space magic right there.
yeah, because like the issue with it being leather is that it shrink, and when it is used, it cracks, and then it would tear and separate. So like eventually, like not even that long into it, like it wouldn't be able to use its wings anyways. But yeah,
Yeah.
its strength is a 25 plus 7, dexterity is 10 plus 0, constitution 23 plus 6, intelligence 16 plus 3, wisdom 15 plus 2, and a charisma of 19 plus 4. Its saving throws are dex plus 6, con plus 12, wisdom plus 8, and charisma plus 10, which its proficiency bonus is plus 6, which is like, I think a level 20 character has a plus 6. Proficient skills are perception and stealth, which are 14 and 16. It's resistant to necrotic, immune to lightning and poison. Its condition immunities are charmed, exhaustion, frightened, paralyzed, and poisoned. It has blind sight up to 60 feet, dark vision up to 120 feet, and passive perception of 24. It speaks common and draconic and is a challenge rating 17, 18,000 experience points. So like, I really like how it has blind sight up to 60 feet. So say like you're invisible and you're just like walking through, and then you step into its turf, and it looks like it's asleep, and then you just like happen to notice it, and then its eyes shift to you. Just that's something that I think would
Just
be pretty cool.
instant red eye image
I think
pops
of
up.
yellow for some reason. I think it's yellow in this. No, there is no eyes in this one. I just think of like yellow eyes, probably
What,
from zombies from Call of Duty.
what I mean is like that it's like that meme, the red eyes meme.
Yeah, no, I got you. Uh, but yeah, like
That's all you see as soon as it just so happens to wake up, because it's like, I see you.
yeah, and it's blind sense too, so it doesn't need eyes to see per se. It's not necessarily tremor
Yeah.
sense, but it knows where you are. It's not true sight either. It has legendary resistance 3 times a day, so if it fails a saving throw, it can succeed instead. Obviously, like I said, it has magic resistance, like I said earlier. Now it has multi-attack. The Dragolich, the Dragolich can use its frightful presence, then makes 3 attacks, 1 with its bite and 2 with its claws. Now, note, I don't adhere to that shit. Uh, I see the number of attacks and then the list, and then I'll just use that list. Because I'm going to be honest, I would find it stupid that a giant with a club can only use its club once and then
Yeah.
might have to like slam you for another attack. I don't like that. So like multiple people that I know, they'll just use an indeterminate amount of attacks. I also don't care for spell slots when it comes to
I
enemies
think
either.
if we use that same metric, it would really suck with those hill giants that they had multi attack. If all they did was throw boulders, yeah, we'd
Oh
be
no,
fine.
see, I kind of kept the boulder thing, like except for that. I know I was keeping it in the original hill giant fight that we discussed, uh, where they threw one. But when we came to the second fight with the giants that we will be discussing in another video, that one was bad. Did you? Hold on a second. Oh, I just got a notification from Google Duo that when I tried to call you a couple minutes ago, it finally said, "You want to try to call again?" No, I'm talking to him. But yeah, like the second one we're going to discuss later. But if I had used what I wanted to, which was no, I did use it, the Hill Giant, where he threw two at a time. If I did that the first time, you wouldn't have never came back up, and then Damien would have died. And I don't believe in killing characters off screen. I don't. So it's like I will attack the fuck out of you, and if you happen to be there earlier in the game, then have to leave. Sorry, but it's like I try not to kill you guys off screen. I don't like that shit. And like I said, create new characters just in case, into which almost everyone has, but you.
Yeah, no. At this point, I'm willing to write it out and figure that out later.
Your fault.
Persistence is key.
Yeah, and it's funny because everyone's like, "You're trying to kill us." It's like, no, you guys don't really go for other options. It's just like, oh yeah, what's the one thing that I was told rather than finding another way out? You know, it's like, okay. Like, had you guys cleared the path to the Hill Giant, yeah, you would have still had the Storm Giant to deal with, or the Ice Giant, the fucking Frost Giant. But those other four guys would have been kind of like, oh shit, kind of, you know, if you disabled them or like found a way to like cast a spell to block them off, you know, there's multiple ways you guys could have gone about that. But no, you guys have the Zone of Silence for literally one round, and that fucked everything for you guys. You guys eventually killed the guy that had the Zone of Silence on you guys, and you guys still fucking nearly died. There's ways that you guys could have went about that entire situation. And yeah, I will agree. I fucked you guys over. That's why I kept you guys alive.
The,
God, you
the
guys
thing
could have done more.
my mind was using Earth Tremor, but at the same time, that would have meant all of us would have had to make saves to see if we didn't get knocked prone.
Yeah, and the issue is with that is, you know, they wouldn't have opportunity attack prone, but it's not like creating a barrier. So yeah, they would have been knocked prone, which you guys to a certain degree would have been able to get out.
Actually, no. It creates difficult terrain.
Yeah, but that's for everyone. Like everyone has to use half movement, into which I wouldn't say that getting up costs half movement in the difficult terrain. So you wouldn't cost your full movement, but you would still have to get up and then have further half movement from there. But yeah, it's like the issue would then reside. The Giant has advantage on that, given that it's way bigger. So it's like, yeah, it's not going to be affected nearly as hard. And then what happens if most of these guys stay up? You guys still have to deal with the opportunity of attacks. So it's one of those, like, it could have worked, it could have failed. They had +2 to dex. I didn't put anything for attack really, because you guys
also
were getting daggers.
Didn't really know how that would affect with this situation because we were stuck in that corridor. So there was that as well.
Let's go back to this because we're in a monster manual thing. So we'll talk about that later. Sorry about that. We get on tangents on this channel too. Imagine bastions and basilisks. The bite. It's a melee weapon attack. It's +13 to hit, reach at 10 feet, one target only, 18 average, 2d10 +7 piercing damage, +5 average, 1d10 lightning. Now, again, if it was fire dragon or red dragon, it'd be fire, blah, blah, blah. Remember, this is a template. It's not the only one. The claw. It's a melee weapon attack, +13 to hit, reach at 5 feet, one target only, 14 average, 2d6 +7 slashing damage. The tail, same thing to hit, 13, reach at 15 feet though, one target only, 16 average, 2d8 +7 bludgeoning damage. Now it has a couple abilities here. It has Frightful Presence. Each creature of the Dragolich's choice that is within 120 feet of the Dragolich and aware of it must succeed a DC 18 Wisdom saving throw or become frightened for 1 minute. A creature can repeat the save at the end of the creature's turn, ending the effect on itself as a success. For creature saving throw successful or the effect ends, the creature is immune to the Frightful Presence for the next 24 hours, which is pretty decent because if it happens once and you break it, you're fine. The Lightning Breath. On a d6 roll of 5 or 6, the Dragolich exhales lightning in a 90-foot line that is 5 feet wide. Each creature in that line must make a DC 20 dexterity saving throw, taking 66 12d10 lightning damage on a failed save or half as much on a successful one. So basic like ability for that.
Strand breath weapon. Got it.
Yeah. Now it has legendary actions. It has 3 and it can choose from the options below. Only 1 can be taken at a time and only at the end of another creature's turn. It regains the legendary actions at the start of its turn. So it can use Detect. It can make a Perception check. Tail Attack. makes a tail attack. And then there's the wing attack. It costs 2 actions. The Dragolich beats its tattered wings. Each creature within 10 feet of the Dragolich must succeed on a DC 21 dex save or take 14 average, 2d6 plus 7 bludgeoning damage, and be knocked prone. After beating its wings in this way, the Dragolich can fly up to half of its movement speed, which is really good for it trying to maneuver and cast a lightning breath. Yeah, that is the adult blue Dragolich or the Dragolich template, depending on how you want to put it. Did you have any other comments on it?
And so I thought blue was the ice dragon.
That's a white
Is it
dragon.
not? Okay.
Blue is lightning,
I was about
ice is white, green is poison, black is acid, red is fire.
Yeah, I was a little confused for a second. I was like, so on top of their natural breath attack, they've got lightning now as Dragoliches. That's weird. That makes me a little nervous.
I'm surprised there isn't a necrotic type of breath energy or breath weapon, but I think that's what the Shadow Dragon has. So that might be specific to that. But yeah, that is the Dragolich template and the ancient or the adult blue Dragolich. But yeah, that's the entire thing. Thank you guys for watching. Please, like, subscribe, comment on the video and all that jazz, and go watch myself at Bastions and Basilisks. Sorry for the tangent again, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. See ya.